What's up, guys? Emster Knows Hoops back today with another video. And before doing or talking about anything else, I just really wanted to thank you guys sincerely. So the last video got 44 subs to the channel, 3,000 views in like a day. It means the world to me, guys. Like, it's very reassuring to see that. So I know for a fact we can hit 700. We're so close. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. We're streaming games in there all the time, talking hoop. Please join. Let's grow this community. But today, we are talking about the new look Indiana Pacers since acquiring Pascal Siakam. And I've been waiting a little bit because in part, Halliburton got hurt or was hurt basically by the time Siakam got there, and they've only gotten a couple games together. So I kind of want to get a bigger sample size. They are 9-8 since the 19th of January in 2024. They are 11th in half-court offense. Now, before that, they were first, but I think, again, missing Tyrese for that long is going to do that. They're 20th in half-court defense, and you would think, Emster, that's not that impressive, which it still isn't anything great. But they were 27th before. So Siakam definitely brings some form of defensive impact. And let's get right into it. So Siakam is averaging 21, 7, and 5 on 56 from the field, 42 from 3, but it's on like 2 a game, and 65 from the line since joining the Pacers with about 1.1 stocks. And according to Clean and Glass, he's actually been 53% from the mid-range. So Siakam has brought down the three-point volume and is finally getting back to his game, which is more inside the arc. So let's get into it. I first want to talk about Siakam, the defender, right? Okay, so coming up here, we're going to get Devin Booker, right? This is against an elite offensive team in the Phoenix Suns, right? Boom, breaks past his man, goes to pass it out. And the thing that I like about this too is Miles Turner is finally able to sort of, when he wants to sink or needs to sink and guard the rim or the paint, he can finally start doing that now. He has someone in Siakam that can either help give perimeter help if needed, or if, you know, he's caught sort of out on an island, Siakam can kind of cover up that gap and help protect the rim, right? So Siakam sort of is able to stay there, and Turner's able to say, I can roll with Nurkic and Booker and not have to worry about getting beat somewhere else. And then boom, Siakam is there paying attention and is going, right? That's very helpful for this team because this is something they have not had in a long time. I think Miles Turner is a really good defender. I think he's been stuck in a situation though, right, where rim help / someone else being able to drop down or play at the perimeter was not always an option for him. So coming in here, right, quickly's got his moment. RJ's going over. And the thing I like here is that, again, they can stay here and Siakam is right here too. And before, right, you would only really be like, okay, I've only got one guy to beat here in the paint. That's the one issue with the Pacers. It used to be you could just kind of attack their paint at will because, to be 100% honest, their perimeter defenders aren't very good. But now that you have Siakam, I'm not saying that they basically added Rudy Gobert to their lineup or anything crazy, but at least from what I've seen, it deters teams at least to some extent, which for this team that's very offensive based, you have to be able to get a stop. And to me, they've been doing that now because they have someone like Siakam there, right? Helping bring that additional pressure. And then, of course, we're going to look at Siakam as a scorer, right? They're going to get the ball here, coming up, help push the tempo, right? They're going, right? Like they like to do. You get Siakam here, right? They're going for the screen action. Beal sticks with his man. Now he has Eubanks one-on-one. And again, moments like this is why the Indiana Pacers went shopping and got Siakam, right? Boom has a slower footed Eubanks on him. He takes that shutter step back, takes a beautiful, bank shot off the glass. Moments like that are things that they have also not had in a long time. A big / forward that can legitimately handle the ball and attack, right? Because a lot of the times, you have Obi Toppin, and this is no disrespect to any of these guys, by the way. They're actually all having, career-esque seasons. But you have Obi Toppin. Actually, someone we're going to be talking about future, Aaron Nesmith, Miles Turner. These guys aren't necessarily self-creators for the most part. Siakam can self-create, right? Which is huge because now the way that forwards and centers play this team is not so one-dimensional anymore. They have to respect Siakam as a scorer and attacker, which is huge for them. And then let's keep it going, right? Because now the spacing, too, for Siakam is very nice. Because, again, before, their spacing wasn't really there, right? So, boom, they get the screen action on Beal, right? And now you have the other thing that's so nice, right? Siakam, the side advantage, right? Just fights right over Beal, gets the bucket. That's another thing, right? It's not so much that Miles Turner is unwilling to, attack a smaller guy. But again, I think Siakam brings a more traditional / modern big to the team that has been needed for a while just in general, right? Because before you had Sabonis and Turner, no disrespect to either of them, but we know how they play, right? To me, Siakam gives them just more versatility offensively from the front court. Okay. Then I want to talk about Aaron Nesmith and TJ McConnell. And the reason I'm bringing them up. So both of these guys' stats are from since the 19th of January, since they got Siakam. Nesmith is averaging 15, 5, and 2 with 1.4 stocks, steals and blocks, on 52 from the field, 42 from 3 on a legit, attempts. Meaning, he's not taking like 1 or 2 shots. It's like on like 4 or 5. 68 from the line, which isn't great. But the guy brings such an intensity. But then TJ McConnell, to me, might genuinely be the best backup guard, like that from my memory, maybe excluding like Russ, in the league. Giving you 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists on 55 from the field, 80 from 3, but I'm going to be honest, as on like 0.2 attempts, so do not take that number very seriously, and 100 from the line, also on like 0.4 attempts, but he's a good free throw shooter. With a steal. For the Pacers to have a secondary ball handler playmaker, I think is huge. And to have that for that point guard position without Tyrese is also going to change the way things are going. And then from there, what we're going to see, we're going to start with TJ McConnell, right? And what he brings as that secondary ball handler. But also, Siakam as a passer is also very important, right? Because, again, now Tyrese has another playmaking passing option from that same side of the floor, right? Beautiful read here to Obi Toppin, who just goes right at the rim. Nice and easy. Someone else who can make those reads is going to be important to alleviate the responsibility of Tyrese Haliburton when the playoffs come along. But McConnell here's got Murray, right? And you can see the off-ball actions are trying to get started, right? Isaiah Jackson doesn't really take the screen. DeAndre Jordan jumps, waits for him to jump to then get the ball out to Isaiah Jackson, who slams it down. TJ McConnell is a vet, and that's huge for a younger team like this, right? Mathurin here rejects the screen from Turner, right? Does all this to do a little bit of a DHO, but not quite. Beats Reggie Jackson. Beautiful read, right? MPJ's ball watching. KCP slinks into Mathurin. Boom, wide open 3. That is huge to have when someone like Tyrese, who's in this goofy outfit, is out or in foul trouble or needs to be sat. I think to have that sort of offensive generator without him at the point position is huge. And I think he's a big reason that their offense hasn't just completely tanked. I'm not saying Siakam would, be awful, but to go from 1 to 11 and only stay at 11 mind you, without Haliburton, he's a big reason why. Okay. Then we're going to talk about Aaron Nesmith, right? This guy just brings a hustle on defense that I think is very important. Like, look at what he does here with Barrett, right? Gathers, and Nesmith just starts to plant, mind you, right? Planted. Already got into Barrett's chest, makes him have to do this little dribble hesitation, gets his hand on the ball. So Barrett has to try and gather and go back up. Boom. Blocked by Isaiah Jackson. But that's huge, right? That pressure that he helps generate is so important, right? So look at this, right? So he goes over, right? And because he's shadowing over, Josh Hart is like, I got to get this ball out. But messes up, right? He even does a little like, oh my, what was that? But my thing is, and the reason that I'm pointing this out because I know this isn't the most revolutionary looking thing. It's because it's effort. And the thing with the Pacers at times, when you watch them at all this season, at times it looks like they literally are just trying on offense and they hope they just stop on defense. But for me, getting Aaron Nesmith to have that legitimate guy that's like forcing the issue, having now a legit front court defensively in Siakam and Turner, I think it's huge, right? Okay. And then Aaron Nesmith as a scorer, just in general. Shout out to this random woman getting interviewed, right? Gets the Obi Toppin screen, right? Goes up, stretches the floor. The guy sinks down to Turner, fakes him out, right? McBride bites on the fact that it's a Tyrese Halliburton shot. At that point, it's just him, one-on-one attacking the rim, right? Having these scoring options show up, especially when guys like Benedict Mathurin, at least efficiency-wise, have sort of struggled, I think is huge. Okay. Tyrese Halliburton. Now, Halliburton has actually sort of had a little bit of a fall off, just statistically. He's averaging 17, 3, and 10, which is still really good. Like, not everyone can do that. 48 from the field, 38 from 3, 79 from the line with 1.8 stocks. Now, that's what is impressing me. Now, let me make this clear before I hear, well, I'm sorry, you're saying that this dude is not Drew Holiday all of a sudden. This dude is not Derek White all of a sudden. Again, to me, seeing an increased effort is important because it means when the playoffs come, and this team looks like they will probably stick around the 6 to 7 seed, and I think they could probably win their playing games, they'll be a playoff team. Now, do I think they're going to go on? No. But it's important to start now instead of trying to figure it out later in terms of setting a defense, if culture, mindset, whatever it is. Right? But let's get into it. Hallie still is a scorer, right? Gets the screen action here. And this is why being such a great passer playmaker is important. Brooks swipes over, right? And Şengün sinks because he knows Hallie would be more than willing to make/take that pass. But instead goes up with a little float. Nice and easy. And then you have Siakam here. Fights to get the board. And again, the pushing, right? Now that you have someone like Siakam versus a Turner or a Nesmith where you're like, okay, I could probably just stick with one guy. Jabari Smith sticks over. And Aaron Holiday tries to poke it out from before he can get there. Boom. Wide open 3-ball. Having, again, that attention from someone like Siakam is huge. Okay. And then I think something I want to talk about too is just, again, defensive effort, right? Picks up this assignment in Jalen Green, right? Knows where he wants to go. And this, to me, just really good defense. Like, gets his hand in there, pokes it out once Turner's able to come over and help, right? You see it. He gets his hand in there, right? Rips the ball out before he can attack. And at this point, you have Siakam and Turner closing it out. So then you get a force of a turnover in possession. Again, not an elite defender now, guys, but it's effort. Like, take a look here at Thompson, right? Thompson, extremely athletic, right? No doubt. But goes right at Halliburton. Understandably so. I'm sure on scouting report, he's the guy that you want to attack. But sticks right into him. Gets the ball out. It's just the effort is there. And it's huge. Obviously, last thing we're going to talk about, Tyrese's passer playmaker. I mean, it's arguably his best quality, right? Thompson gets past. Brooks sinks. Şengün sinks. The whole team basically sinks in on him. Boom. Wide open Siakam in the corner. Beautiful, beautiful basketball. Now, in the Mavericks video, we talked about the new look team. And what do I think that this team could do? Now, I don't think they're necessarily going to make noise in terms of like, oh, I think they're going to upset this or that. But for a young team like this, I think they need to at least make the playoffs. I think they need to see what a slower brand of basketball is for them in a high pressure situation. Now, there are some teams I think they would kind of like to face. I think they wouldn't mind having to play Cleveland. Now, I don't know if I would pick them to beat Cleveland, But for me, right now, their one issue is their guard, their leading point guard is their weak spot offensively or defensively. My apologies. But I think that this team could take a team in the first round bare minimum 6 games. I think they can force a little bit of a tough series. And I think that's all that they need. We have to remember, this team is technically like just getting out of a rebuild or just at the very end of it, where they have their guy in Tyrese. Like, they're like, we have a cornerstone guy. We're trying to get him now supporting pieces, and we'll figure out the rest from there. So as always, guys, this is Enter No Hoops. Let me know what you think of the new look Pacers. Do you think that they're basically the same team? Do you think Siakam is a huge addition in terms of the defensive help he's bringing? Do you think this team has any chance of making noise in the playoffs? Or do you think now they're like, what I said, a tough first round out? As always, guys, this was Enter No Hoops. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much for the love and support in the last video. Let's bring it that energy again today. Peace out.